Hi, I'm Misha Johnston with Starseed Awakening support groups, and we are doing a special tribute for a dear friend, James Rink. He's been doing this for as long as I know him. I've known him since 2015, so I think he was doing it even before. So he has made this his life's mission and has given his life and for the movement. So we are going to be sharing some of our thoughts and our feelings and our love with with him, and I hope he's listening. So,
Yes.
all righty. So, Majal, you are our first. I also want to tell people just before we go that I do have these support groups and they're going on 3 times a week. They're for everything from the ET experience, the hybrid experience, they're your Starseed journey, MK Ultra, Montauk, Secret Space Program, Super Soldiers. We have groups for all of those topics, and even of course Twin Flames and Divine Counterparts and all of that. So uh, please check out my groups. The website is starseedawakening.org, and it will be written on the information. So it is a private group, so some people do not want to be on camera, so they choose not to. So that is absolutely perfect with me. So starting with Majal, thank you for coming and tell us whatever you'd like to say
Thank
about.
you. Thank you. My name is Maziel Sky. And I am very grateful that you have put this together and remembering James, because James is very dear to us. When I first met him, I was looking forward to the disclosure information he was going to have because he was the first person that I met about a year ago that was involved in all this, that opened the door to everyone else, because then you start following everyone else and start finding them. Um, he was the first one to give me the opportunity to speak on a platform outside of just social media content creation. And I'm really grateful for that, because I think doing all that in that collaboration just brings everything together, because we're not just bringing disclosure, but we're bringing healing and solutions to the new earth. And everything combined is just, it brings to the public and the world and the universe the rollout, right? This continuous rollout. So I'm just really grateful for James, and um, spending a time with him when he's being funny and dancing, and um, allowing us to work with him and have this experience is something that I'm going to treasure forever. And I'm really grateful because now I got to meet you, and I got to meet so many other people, especially the ones on this call and on the social media content. Did you want to
Oh,
say something quick?
could
Oh,
everybody mute their mics, please, for me? Okay, go ahead and go on.
thank you. So that's pretty much it. I took a lot of pictures, and that is just how it's going to be engraved within me. And I'm going to continue to do the work and always memorialize him. And that's really sad to see him leave so quickly, um, especially that we were just finally like really getting to know each other and bond and so forth. But because of who he is, and because I know we've crossed in the future and other timelines and work and stuff like that. I know it's not really a goodbye, it's just like that, this physical presence or dimensional field. Um, and I'm just looking forward to continuing his work with everybody else here. That's the best way to memorialize him.
It is. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Charlene,
Okay, hi. You got me with sticky fingers. I'm making a drink. What was last minute today? It's very nice to meet you. Thank you for inviting me. I ended up being on James's core volunteer group. I watched James on his Super Soldier Talk. Uh, he was a very unique individual, and his show was just a little different from everybody else's. It was very just raw and natural. So that attracted me to him. And then I started watching some of his older stuff, and he was really putting out a lot of good information. I went back 14 years. And then it was watch. I usually keep up on his updates of his new shows. And he said, I need volunteers. So me and my husband, we live on the West Coast, so there's a lot to travel there. But something inside us just said, let's go. And yeah, we were just going to be volunteers, but then we ended up being part of this, what we call our core team, all of us working together to, end up to make that event happen. And I don't know, James kind of feels to me all of a sudden like a little bit like family or a kindred soul. I felt like he had a lot of the same energies as I do. He's very, I don't know, just our energies meshed really well together. I sense a lot of stress, getting to the event, but yeah. So he just turned out to be a really great guy. And when he died, I really felt a sense of disappointment, or I was a little mad for some reason. But I then I started getting a lot of downloads from him, and he had a lot of thankfulness coming through. And as I watched his other tributes and talked to other people, I kept kind of wanting to say thank you, thank you, thank you, because I felt like he just had thankfulness coming through to everyone. And so we the last thing that James sent me was a YouTube video of Jonathan Siegel. It was about a seagull. It was amazing. It's on YouTube, and it's playing the what is that, Neil Diamond song B. And this bird goes way up in the sky, and he comes down, and he misses the water. He doesn't go into the water, and then he does it again, and then this time he just plunges in. And he wrote to me, "This is spirit, or message of," what did he say?
He text message and it said, quote unquote, message from spirit.
Oh, message from spirit. And that was like a week before he died. And then after he passed, I went to the beach and I came upon an injured seagull, which I still have.
2 days later.
And I'm trying to find the meaning in that, but I could go on and on. But like Maziel, I was very thankful for James. He gave us all opportunities.
Yes.
He started a lot of activation in our own careers, and I guess I'll just end with a lot of thanks for everybody and James.
Thank you, Charlene. Brian.
Yeah. So I had the honor of meeting James in person in the summer of 2023. I co-organized the Montauk Adventure Tour with him that August. It was for the 80th anniversary of the Philadelphia experiments. I learned about James through his work as a founder and lead of supersoldiertalk.com. And so when I found out through Sean Bond and friends in the community that he was organizing this, I reached out to him to assist. And, off of that, at the Camp Hero Air Force Base, walking around there with a Sage radar tower, it's iconic. And, staying with him and about 20 other people, many of them being fellow Montauk experiencers or, super soldier type experiencers. And we're staying together at these Airbnbs for like 5 days. So, got to know James really well then. And I remember walking around the barracks area there of the Camp Hero base, and he was literally pointing out the barracks and sharing his recall of how, because of his gifts as a child, and that's why he was in the programs, I believe as a Palladian Starseed, the other children, they would bully on him and they called him Space Boy, he said, or Alien Boy or something like that. And he remembers literally was pointing at the barracks and being chased around by these other children in the programs who were jealous of him and bullying and ganging up on him. And they literally threw him out the second-story window. And he said that he would have fallen all the way down and hit onto like the sidewalk concrete maybe, and obviously could have been hurt or even killed. But in his recall, he remembers literally levitating in air before he hit the ground and be going invisible, and all the other kids running around saying, "Oh my God, where'd he go? He was he's gone. Like where did Space Boy go?" And he was, he was sharing that recall, and it was very, combined with all the other people who were on that um, reunion tour for Montauk experiencers. Yeah, it really lined up with a lot of the other people in their own recalls. And um, you know, in organizing the 2024 conferences, he and I we had a kind of public falling out, but before, you know, especially when it came too quickly, his passing. When I saw his one post where he was talking about having health issues and being hit with directed energy weapons and being targeted, and what it was doing to uh his kidneys and his liver and his heart. I reached out to him and said I was very sorry about to learn about that, and wished him well, and wanted to assist any way I could. And as did Sarah R. Adams, also through me conveyed her support and assistance, and he was thankful. But it was only about 2 or 3 days later that he passed. And when he had written that one post, he said very publicly that he was given a diagnosis from his doctors after his one incident with his heart being affected, and being in the hospital, that he only had about 3 months to live. And then when he did that post, it was about 2 months, and then he passed about a month later. And so, James knew it was coming. I've had at least three um, people have gotten, specific reads, or four now actually, on James on the other side. He's wanting to come through and share messages. He's happy on the other side. He's not in pain. He's doing fine. He's wants to encourage us all to work together and keep going. It's very basic, but it's very real. And it's very much, I know it's very much what he would have wanted, obviously. And apparently he's still continuing the work on the other side. And, it's like the force, he's like more powerful on the other side. And, we want to make sure this doesn't happen to more people in the community. And, we know a lot of us are getting hit and targeted in so many ways. And that's why Misha, hosts these groups. Um, and, working together and learning to put aside our differences. Um, he didn't expect to be gone so soon. He wishes he was still here on this side dancing with us, right? And so, I'll leave it at that.
Thanks, Ryan. Okay. And before I forget, because I want to share a few stories about James as well. So I met him 2015, 16. I'm not 100% sure which conference. I met him at two conferences, but the first one is the one I met him at, was a super soldier one. The picture here that I have is of another conference. So I think this is the 16, the other one was the 15. But there he is. See how he looks. And this is a lot of the other supers. Here's one of our lost super soldiers, Max Spears, and the other one on this end. I always forget his name. Somebody help me with his name. He's not passed, but he had to end up going to prison. So
James
anyway,
Casbolt.
yeah,
Commander Michael Prince. Yeah.
Michael Prince, yes, of course. Thank you. Couldn't think of his name for a second. So, and immediately I had this really strong connection to him and Max and some of the other super soldiers. I was to interview during the event, and so I get to learn and know more about the super soldier I didn't know, and the humanity part of them and their hearts and their fears. And so it was really wonderful to meet him. and then we hung out throughout the years at different times. We were at conference together. He stayed at my house a couple of times when he'd come here to Vegas to the conference. When we went this particular couple of times, but there's one particular one, we after the conference, it was like a Friday night, I think it was. We all group went to what is called the Fremont Center here in Las Vegas, which is has a light show and it's all music and everything like that. And so he was there breakdancing with all the other kids, not anybody from the group per se. Well, there was one other guy that was breaking. So he's out there underneath the sky with Fremont Experience and doing his breakdance. And he's so absolutely full of heart. He had this big inner child heart. He was such a sweet person. And so we had a couple of trips together. We went to Grand Canyon. That was our first time to go to Grand Canyon as well. We went to, of course, Area 51. That picture of this under the what do you call it? The sign, the extraterrestrial highway sign that I showed earlier. And then, of course, we also took another trip to Roswell, and we were there at the Roswell experience. And so that picture that was on his page of him in front of those aliens, I took that, and we were really enjoying that time. So he was just he had such a huge heart and such a kind person, and worked so hard, and had he struggled with his own memories and such as well. But towards the end, he started getting more and more. And the more he did, and the more he got out there with like the conferences and things like that, I think that's when more of the attacks came. And he will always be remembered as a soldier, as a leader for the movement. And he's one of the great ones, and I don't think he should ever be forgotten. So next we have, and if anybody I call on, they don't want to share, they don't need to. It's perfectly fine for them. Okay, so next we have Obi. And we'll be coming back to our group the last hour and a half for shares and stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't know him personally, but I knew or know quite a few people who have done videos with him. And so, of course, I've watched a lot of his work. And it's super important after, grieving that we just kind of pick up and just keep pushing forward. Every one of us, they've been kind of picking us off here, a little bit, but the rest of us just got to keep pushing forward. And that can be, I look at it like, well, one, soldier just got taken out, we're just going to keep pushing towards the finish line. That's all I got to say.
Obi. Melissa. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's the next Melissa. Oh, Majel? Did you have, oh, you were clapping. Okay, Melissa.
Oh, thank you. Hi there, guys. Oh, where to start? I'm gonna start with Charlene actually, because where's Charlene now? She's still here. She's not showing her beautiful face anymore. It's talking with Charlene and Scott about volunteering to do James' conference this year. It's actually it was Charlene and Scott said, let's volunteer for James Rink's conference this year. It's like, okay, let's do this. And who would have known the astronomical impact that we would have had in our lives, just by signing up and saying, yes, we're going to volunteer. And it's, yeah, for me, it was something that, we like to do this, let's do this. Following the cause of James and everything. And we just jumped in to help out. And as time went on, other things weren't working out, with another lady, Debbie, who couldn't help out. And it's so it ended up right near the beginning there, where it's like, okay, Melissa, we need more help. Would you like to help? So I said, sure. And he's like, okay, we're gonna have calls every day. So I said, sure. So that's one more person. I'll check in a sec there. Yeah.
I got the rest of them. I got
Thank
them.
you. Okay, great. So yeah, sorry. I'm usually more eloquently speaking here. I'm just kind of lost in a bit of thought. Um, and being impacted by what everybody's saying tonight, and especially Charlene, and that the conversation with the seagull and everything. And I believe that when when Charlene told me that story about the seagull in the water, and she rescued one that the dog attacked it, and it was like, what did you? I think she said it gave her like something. She's taking care of the seagull now in honor of James. That's how kind of synchronistically all this stuff is happening with her, and that's what's been happening the whole. You never know who's going to come into your life and how it's going to affect you. For me, like, what my life has changed so much since meeting James, working with him, and who would have known? It's I've grown exponentially. I was been joking with these guys, though, like Scott and Maziel. I guess I've been training my whole life for this, because with our all our health issues, I don't know if, like, I don't know, the people at our Super Soldier Conference for 2025 know that a couple months before the conference, I had heart issues. I had a heart attack, a minor heart attack, but I had coronary arteries getting blocked. But I had them unblocked with the procedure, the stents, and all that stuff. But I'm from Canada, so to me, all that was covered. I was very, very blessed. All that was covered. But coming up to the conference, it was like, okay, am I good enough to go? Yes, I am. And next, James is in the hospital. And after all this months of planning and prepping with all our beautiful volunteers, Andrew's here, Maziel and Jason are here too tonight. I recognize from our core group. And I'm not sure if that's our Eric or not. But yeah, like the conference is coming, and now James in the hospital is like, okay, guys, we're doing this. We prepared for this. And lo and behold, James ends up showing up, and it's like it we're he what we had planned for got switched around completely, where he had certain roles, we all had certain roles, and it all got switched up. And I come with the emergency nursing background. So I put on many hats there and made sure this conference went on with the help and love of so many beautiful volunteers. Where we were registering people. I mean, this is like not planned. I ended up emceeing half of the event, because it's what came in front of us when we realized that, within this huge arena and atmosphere of all these beautiful people together, James could only do so much, and we all stepped up together. And I just put on many hats, and it's like, who would have known? I keep saying, who would have known? But I learned so much, and I guess every step of the way, I could, like even Charlene said, we all feel this connection with James. It's so hard to explain, but I could see and feel his vision, and certain aspects of this, like even the singer Misty Dawn, the songs that she picked, such a heartwarming um expression he had. And this Heroes of Disclosure, which is at the end of the event, it was him honoring all the disclosure super soldiers, etc. And I was always joking, don't forget the defense minister Paul Hellyer, because he's Canadian, because I was Canadian, right? So of course he was on the list. But and I just remember sitting in the back that day on stage thinking, oh my God, we're going to be adding James to this. And I just had something in me, kind of had a feeling, but I didn't want to think it, because I still thought he had a few months to go. He, uh, like, for people who know James, the last couple of years in his videos, you see his health has declined a bit. And coming with a medical background, when I first saw James, the eyes, and then that I thought, oh shit, that's thyroid issues. So that was present a couple years ago, and then him being American, unfortunately, I think went undiagnosed thyroid disease for many years. And this brings me back to very grateful I'm Canadian, and all this is I get it covered. Everything is covered. But as we reached the conference and his health was, I think the hospital visit he had, because another friend took him in the hospital. Um, uh, and her boyfriend, they got him in there initially. He had some treatment, but he overall, his view was to follow energy healing, herbal stuff, and not so much the traditional medicine. So that broke my heart a little bit because I come with that background. I'm an energy healer too, so I combine everything to me. So that was hard for me a little bit, but overall, I've come to understand that this is what his soul chose. Out of everything, this was it. I got to spend a week in North Carolina with him through Halloween, and being there to have some fun and some jokes. He decorates crazy with Halloween decorations, like 12-foot animatronics. He just loves this stuff. And but he needed help to get all that stuff up and out. Like he couldn't, even the day setting up, he's like short of breath because he can't physically do everything. But he wouldn't, he would get frustrated a bit, but he was like, it wouldn't stop him. He'd still make sure that needs to be done in a certain way. So I tried to once again honor his vision. There's so many things James loved, like his dancing, honor everything that he really wanted to get out there. And I was just honored to spend, a week with him in North Carolina before he passed. We had a hoot some nights. Some days it was more serious, and then he didn't want to listen to me because I'm like, can we not get you to the hospital? But he was determined. Herbs this, herbs that, everything, but not the traditional medicine. Um, so it's yeah. So yeah, I'm just I can't say there's so many words that are hard to express. Like who would have known the synchronicities that come up into our lives? I would have never thought I'd be sitting here with you beautiful people. Like who would have known this? But it has happened, and it's a growth factor for every single one of us. I think it is. Like we are here to expand on this journey, expand James's vision in any way we can. And I still feel that vision in me to help move forward. And I know speaking with Charlene and Maziel and Andrew, like who knows what's going to come in the future, but we're going to honor this. And now that I know I can put on a conference, I mean, we're going to do something. We're going to figure out. And of course, with all the angels that are on the screen here, like, let's do this together, guys. And my phrase actually that got me on board with James to be a speaker as well is that when I introduced myself the night of our meeting, our first volunteer meeting, I just said, I'm Melissa. I'm a spiritual channel, intuitive healer, and I believe we all here together to uphold humanity together. We rise together, helping each other out. And that's what got me into this mess. And it's how I continue. We all are in this together, help to rise up, because this is we all know this life we're living. We have so much um well, now it brings on so much more honoring of James, and to keep this mission going, and in every one of us our own uniqueness. We all bring something beautiful to the table, and none of us are the same, and we all bring our own spin to and our experiences to this life. So that's, I want to honor everybody and say, let's keep James's vision going in any way we can. And quickly, I'll just remind everybody, we're the Super Soldier Volunteer Group we're still working on a tribute to James. It's just taking longer because our AV guy from the conference, Doug, is working on finishing editing the recording of the whole conference. And in honor of that, we're collecting videos or pictures. Anybody wants to send it in so we can add to a memorial when we have an online memorial too, like something like this. But we're also going to add the video onto the Heroes of Disclosure, which was James' vision as well. Let's honor. So we're going to honor him in the way that he honored so many. So not get emotional now, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. So hang in there. Doug is hard working getting the videos edited and sending everything in, and then he's got to put that together in a collage thingy, and then we'll get that out too. So maybe a week or so, I don't know yet. So yeah. And I know people have been asking, is there going to be any big public thing for James? I honestly don't know yet. I've been chatting with James has another friend, close friend, and she doesn't want me to announce her name, and I'm not gonna. But she's been friends with James for many, many years, and it was her boyfriend that actually helped James in his final departure the very last day. But Dara, she's still in touch with the family. I'm still a little bit in touch too. So I have a feeling that what's going to happen for the family is going to stay for the family in a way. They're very Christian-based family. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. They could put something public out there, but I have a feeling it's going to be more private for the family. So I just want to let everybody know that when we hear something, we'll get it out there, but it's all based on what the family's wishes are. But we're gonna as our here, we're gonna still do our online memorial one when we get there. So I just want to kind of let everybody know about that. But yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Melissa. And any of the pictures I've shown here, you're welcome to.
Oh, thank you. So I'll put Doug's, actually what I'll do is I'll put Doug's email address into the chat now. So if anybody wants to, they can send it in. And the idea, this was actually Doug's idea, like such a nice idea. Make a 30-second or 1-minute video of a message you'd like to send off for James. So, oh, I get cold shivers just say that. Yeah. So yeah, so I'm going to put that in the chat. So if you guys make anything, send it to Doug. And we'll get it up there on the collage for the Heroes of Disclosure and the memorial thing we're doing. Okay. That's great. I'll put that out there now.
Melissa, I
Maddie,
put it in for you.
thank you,
I
sweetie.
knew you were going to need it, so I went and
Mwah.
I got it for you.
Thank you, girl. So Maziel got that info at clearviewlegalvideo.com. It's a long one. So yeah,
Okay,
there we go.
will do. Thank you. Thank you, Melissa and Michelle. All righty. We got Sophie next. Oh, we have shoot. No, that person left. Okay, hang on. Bryn?
Hi, I'm here. So I found James a few years ago on his YouTube channel, and it just really helped me a lot because I was having memories, dreams, flashbacks. So it really helped me a lot. Yeah, I was also highly targeted with frequency weapons. And I think my brother got killed with a heart attack weapon. So it kind of hit home for me with James. But I was so grateful for him. He helped me get to the Super Soldier Activation Conference. I sent him a message on Messenger one day just asking if he knew a Ghost Rider. And he was like, I do if you come to my conference. I'm like, well, I wish I could afford it, but I'm on disability. And so he's like, well, what can I do for you? And he hooked me up with a half price ticket, found me a roommate at the hotel. And yeah, he was just so kind and so sweet and just listened. And, that's what he did with everybody, it seems like. And so I'm just so grateful I went, and I met Maziel there. She gave me a great healing. Met Melissa. I met Andrew. Andrew introduced me to Misha. And I met Drago Reed. And then I got some visions and flashbacks of working with him and, different timelines. So that was interesting. And yeah, it was cool. I didn't get to talk to James a whole lot just because I knew he was going through it, but he did want to do an interview with me and was like really nice about it and gave me his number and wanted to do that. And yeah, I'm just really grateful for him and all his work and what he's doing to help activate other super soldiers. Remember, yeah, he's came through actually with my brother and Max a couple times. They've talked to me, and yeah, he said he's doing good and just not to mourn him, to, enjoy it. He's free now, so yeah, I think that's just what I've been going through, and I'm great to have a community now, and people don't think I'm crazy anymore. They understand me. And that's how I know James, and I really, really appreciate him and all of you guys. So, thank you.
Thank you. And join our community if you like. It's a place where you can talk about your experiences.
Yeah.
Like we're recording today. I want to remind people we're recording in case you didn't get the chat. We never record. It's always private groups. And we have individual, at least 2 of our groups are all about targeting. So there's so many of us that are targeted.
Yeah, I went to your last one and I just signed up.
Oh, I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You did just sign up. Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
glad
excited.
you were able to come today. Yes. Thank you, Bryn.
Thank you.
All right. SD.
Just quick question. Is the recording going?
It is.
I would like to share last when the recording is not going.
Okay. All right. Is it Melinda? Is Melinda still here?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, you are. That Princess Melinda. Yes, yes.
Well, I'm new here, so I'm just basically listening in. So I'm gonna not really talk. That's what I usually do when I first timer.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Absolutely. Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. We do that all the time in our groups that people
Okay.
just come in and listen and they don't need to share until they're ready. All righty. Next we have it's a long one. Oh, clan mother.
Mhm. Thank you, Misha. I really wanted to thank you. You've been just one of the few pioneers that has been around since the beginning. So I'm really grateful. I always put your information out on my inner circles and stuff like that because you've been so pivotal in helping people in this field. And so my first thanks is to you and to your groups and stuff. So I really encourage people. I've had the pleasure to be there several times. You've invited me in, and it's an amazing group that's very cohesive and very integrative for people. So I really encourage people, if they haven't been there, to please check out what Misha's doing, because there are very few people that I really think have the depth and the breadth of the counseling that you did and still do.
Oh.
And so I've always been grateful for you and doing what I can support in the background. James and I have been friends for well over a decade. And I put some things in the background and I can maybe screen share those, or if you want to put them up, Misha. Is it,
Go ahead, screen share, viewer. That's perfectly
have I
fine.
got privileges to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
So in here, one of the things that we have is that when the first things James came out with many, many years ago was in 2013. And hopefully you guys can see that right now, is that the actual Nasera came out 2013. That's a long time ago, you guys, which changes on the horizon. Okay. So we've been at that a long time. And one of the things I got into it is because it actually stands for technically national. And national is actually what clans and tribes are made of. And those funds technically belong to the original peoples, not the natives and the bands of the wearers and all those prisoner of war camps, but they belong to the hereditary clan mother and hereditary chiefs. And so James and I have been working on this, not only in medicine and also international law, to see what we could do for the persecution because of the violations of the crimes against nations and other people, for the targeting and everything else. So we were working on international medicine and law behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know that. So I did actually do one show with them. And I actually brought in at that time one of the people that had a Washington, D.C. bar license so that we could try and prosecute these people and get the information. So that's what we were actually doing here in the background. And a lot of people don't realize that. So we've been at this for probably about 13, 14 years. So way back when. So those are something, if people haven't seen them, those go back a long, long way when we were doing that. And I'm really grateful as well, because one of the things as well is that I had my own inner group, and it's on Facebook as well. And so James was actually quite often a contributor to it. So I have to be grateful to that as well. So a lot of people, he was helping people in so many ways behind the scenes, on there. And it's so, so important that we get together collectively to basically help people, because that's where it's going to be. It's an informational war right now. And so that's one of the things. So whenever you have something, Misha, goes up through all my feed lines as well. So I think that's important, that we stay cohesive and stay together on this. One of the things as well, too, is because of that, myself and Asha, she's one of my therapists, actually. So I not only invent, but I develop things for sexual abuse, ritual abuse. I'm one of the few people in the integrative quantum medical community that did that. So we advanced Tesla technology and Rife technology with the helps of the Army vets, one being Ryan Williams. And so James often approached us regularly, and we were actually going to be setting up for the conference. As Melissa knows, I was in some of those original Zoom meetings with them, okay, to set up, see what we could do to support the community in the background. One of the things most people, and I have a nursing background as well. I've been nursing for 42 years. May not look like it, but I am. And one of the things is most people in the community do not know his actual medical background. I do. I'm one of the few people. And so one of the things, I'm not here to discuss that, what I want to do there is that when people get targeted, we can also self-induce some of our own targeting. It makes it worse. It exacerbates the condition. We knew about the thyroid. We knew about the congestive heart failure, the liver and the kidney for many, 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 many years that you may not have known. What I will also basically put in here is most people are not aware. I also deal with Sabrina Wallace in the background. And she's approached me to come teach that targeting kind of community as well. So I've been doing stuff with Sabrina for years, as well as Tony Pantalesco. I will reiterate, when James approached me, a lot of people, with whatever intentions they had, the methylene blue, the carbon C60, your nano stuff is at 10 to 20,000 parts per million. It crosses the blood-brain barrier, you electrify yourself, and you re-electrify all the graphene in you. And these people are spiked. They're also going to conferences and respiking people. He was actually really, really hurt by that. And you may not have the intention, but that's actually what happened. And you have to be very careful. And so mine is a bit of a caveat. And when you're using direct energy weapons on yourself, called a terahertz wand, which he was doing every day, you literally microwave your cells to death. And that makes the targeting, whether it's satellite, implants, N2s, N3s, whatever, way worse. So whether it's cloning, jumping, I want the best and the benevolence for this community. And we have to be careful, because part of what happened was the individuals that do it to each other in the communities, because you don't have the knowledge of the background. And that is one of the worst things I saw happen. And there's no amount of dialysis and there's no amount of chelation that's going to reverse what happened. You know, when you're living with people that have taken these injections, as James did. Okay, so Ash and I and all those people go back 10, 15 years. So I just want to put that out here, because I hear a lot of people guessing and you actually don't know. But I also can't come forward because I also have a duty for confidentiality. But this I can tell you because it is public, and I want to bring it to the forefront because I don't want to see anyone else go through this. This is what's slowly eating out the community here, you know. And so you have to be very careful when you go into places like this and conferences, and people are touching and doing Reiki and whatever else. All you're doing is transfection and cross contamination. And we shouldn't have had to bury him this early. It should never have had to happen in the first place. So that was kind of what we're looking at. And that was one of the things I think that's so important. I'm so grateful to the people, each and every one of you that are in here. But we also have a duty and a responsibility to help those in our communities. And that was one of the things that I was so grateful for James, because I was talking to him in the hospital. I was talking to him all the way through. And so those are one of the things. But when people make choices, and my duty as a nurse, but also as a quantum integrative medical instructor, pioneer, educator, and instructor for Insight Health and developing the biofeedback to help you guys, I can look at that biofield that you can't see or feel. I can tell you where they're biohacking through the nanotechnology. We can see it with our equipment. And I redeveloped it because, as you may not know, I was on Carrie Cassidy's talking about child protection because they came after us because of our bloodlines. And so it's very near and dear to me, the sexual abuse and the ritual abuse that needs to be stopped, but more so is the prosecution for what they're doing. And I'm going to continue to do that in the background. So that was one of the things. James was a light to this community, as Misha is, as many of you guys are here. Many of us have our own podcasts. I do my Frequency Fridays every Friday just to educate people on how to do it naturally. But do not mistake semi-synthetics as methylene blue and EDTA and carbon C60 and Masterpiece and stuff like that. Those are semi-synthetic nanotechnologies that do not come out of the body. They go stealth and they make you worse. And they tether you to that very internet of body that you guys are trying to actually stop. So we need to take a look in the mirror. And that's one of the things I wanted to just, go in here and let you guys know. Misha, you're a light to the world. I'm so grateful for what you've been doing. And if there's anything I can do to help people in the background, because I actually can look at a lot of this tech in a different way that you may not, and do things naturally, but without semi-synthetics and the pharmaceuticals that are there behind to prosecute and persecute all of us here. This is a fight, and it's a soul fight, but it's more so an informational fight. And that's what we need to be doing right now, because there's no amount of stuff that we can do. And some of the stuff we've pioneered, I'm so grateful to be with Ryan Williams in this industry, because it's the first time we've had the ability to use sound and light and try to disengage that. And if you guys haven't looked at Tony Pantalleresco beyond Sabrina Wallace, do look at Tony Pantalleresco. He's one of the few people that were in the groups. We're trying to do the anti-nanotech and disengage the operating system. Because as Sabrina said, it's enmeshed into every cell, you guys. And we have to be careful who we're around as well. Okay, so those things like heart diseases and myocarditis and stuff, those are byproducts of the graphene from the PCR or the injections. And I just wanted to give you that caveat, because that's what we need to be doing, is protect ourselves first so we can protect the others here. Thank you, Nisha.
Thank you. I absolutely agree. We have to do that. There was a question you were saying some things that people are using, like menthol, what was that, menthol blue?
There's a whole list where I'm going to use. One is called methylene blue.
Is not a good thing?
It's a semi-synthetic. It does not come out of the brain. I can show you the pictures. People are using it left, right, and center. It's a propaganda. They did it out to fake people. So if they couldn't get people to do it, they could use a cross-contamination. If you see I'm one of the few people as well in the development of what happened with the injections. But I'm telling you, these guys were spiked, okay? And they're spiked because of trans infection in there, and it's sexually passed. And I know that there are people that have been sexually active, intercoursing, because I get the calls. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but they're in this community, and they're getting cross-contaminated. So the first thing they try to do is use methylene blue, carbon C60, shilajit, fulvic acids, EDTA, all the things that these people are trying to sell you back is actually tethering, and it makes that technology go stealth. So on a live blood cell, and I worked with Dr. Robert Young. I was the first one to warn him when he tried this masterpiece crap with Matt Hazen. It makes it go stealth, so you will not see it under the limitations of a microscope. I work with microscopes and biofeedback. So methylene blue definitely in there, and your carbon C60s, nano silvers, anything that's nano or zeta or masterpiece, which has got undisclosed contents. That is what's making all the implants worse. So whether you've got an N2 or N3 implant or whatever it is, or you've taken the injection, or you've taken 10 PCRs because you don't know that it is a injection, it's a graphene up the nose. It's called a topical application or deployment. You are now tethered, whether you like it or not. The people that either intercoursed with people, which has been happening, or you took out those sticks. Those were not tests, they were deployments. You are just as active, and you are just as shutting or transfecting the people around you. And then when you get on the thing, because I also worked with Doc Ram. I'm the one that helped us just to get him in there. And I didn't want him actually flying because that made him worse. And that shut me down for another week, having to keep people alive. You know, and all we're doing at this point is extending. So you may think that, you know, he just got sick in the last few months. You don't know his background. I can tell you his date of birth. I can tell you everything down to blood types. And that makes the difference. So I wish people would quit guessing and thinking that's a psychic thing, because it's very little. There is an actual literal thing that's here. And my thing, Misha, is to do things, you know, for the sexual abuse and ritual abuse, because they did it to my children because of our bloodline. And I'm one of the few clan mothers left on this planet that we're trying to take them down by international law. So I work with international legitimate forces that are active. Okay.
Well,
Does that make sense?
Thank you.
That's the warning you have to have for your community. And if you need something, I'm happy to help or jump in or give you about 20, 30 things that we're using that might be helpful in these cases. Beyond tuning forks and essential oils across the blood-brain barrier, we actually have stuff that, like SARA for sexual abuse and ritual abuse. And that really takes the edge off, and then Faraday caging yourself. But let me tell you, with 6G, it's in you. Everyone's got it right now, just about.
If you would like to, go ahead and put your information in there, and people can contact you if they need to. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And that's with anybody here wants to put their information in, please do put your information in. And at the end of the group, if you go to the three dots, you can then save that and you'll have all of those in your hard drive. Okay. It'll be downloaded for you. So next we have, let's see, DL's gone. Tara.
Hey everybody. I'm here from a scientific background, mostly energy propulsion is where I came from. So I have a weird side interest and side knowledge of a lot of non-ballistic weaponry and uh, as it was mentioned earlier, like directed energy type weaponry where you don't need a projectile in order for it to work. And excuse me, I still have a piece of ice in my mouth. Sorry. Um, I met James because of that knowledge and me accidentally finding Misha through a woman named Kathy O'Brien, who was enslaved at some point in her life, and her daughter. And she wrote some books and about all of these type of things and programs. And that's how I accidentally found Misha online. So through that, I met James, and he is truly, I'm trying not to cry. I didn't know him very well, but I knew him well enough to know that his loss is a huge one. I mean, all of us matter, but he was doing things that it was bigger than him, bigger than just this group here. So I think I'd like to try to honor that and try to be respectful of that. And he always treated me well, even if the things that I said were nonsensical or he didn't know much about it. He never tried to argue with me, or he was never combative in that way, which is so nice when it comes to things that are not well known or very much talked about in any arena or facet of life. So to me, he was this very sweet guy who had gone through some really major things that I don't just believe are plausible. I believe it's all possible. And um, yeah, I already miss him. I've already cried like 3 times during this meeting. Uh, through a miraculous brain injury that I have, I don't really have like a filter. So I just feel what I feel when I feel it, and then I let it go. So, uh, and in a way, James reminds me of that. He tried not to linger. And the more he cared about something, the more energy he would give it, of course. But he was never truly obsessive about anything, or like, he was just driven and passionate. And I admire that in anybody. So, man, we need that energy in life right now. And I miss him. So hopefully, like everyone else has said, we can keep honoring him and that passion and energy in the ways that we can and in the ways that we're able. So I'm going to stop talking and pass the mic. So thank you, Misha, and everybody else who's here. I really wish I had known him better. So thanks.
Thank you, Tara. I can't read my writing. Is there an Amber here? Amber? Maybe they're not here anymore. Andrew. Okay, they must have left. Okay. Okay. Maybe some people just wanted to be here for a little while. They're gone too. Gone. Erickson. Okay, there's Erickson. You're next.
Um, I didn't meet James in person. And I didn't get to go to any of his conferences. I, however, watched his show for over 10 years, I think. And I always appreciated his guests and his open-mindedness. And so, yeah, he did a lot for the community and to make this whole experiencer thing more mainstream and more acceptable. And I think that you know, the world is more open to this kind of information now. And I bought his book, and he wrote a nice little message to me in the front cover. And so yeah, I was reading the book. It's pretty a lot of information in there about the different types of programs and sub-programs. And yeah, I did notice that after he published his book, it seemed like he was having a hard time after that. And I was concerned about him, um and it's like yeah, it's very sad that he's not going to be around anymore. And so, and that's about it from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Erickson. Bonnie is next.
I want to thank you, Misha, for having this meeting today devoted to James Rink. I won't share for long, especially for me. For those who haven't seen yet, I put several links in the chat to some tributes to James that I appreciated, and I thought others might appreciate. I never had the pleasure of meeting James, although I would have loved to go to his conferences. I appreciate that I was able to watch the streaming online, and he was one of the dearest men that I've ever seen speak. I was very touched by him. I guess for a few years I've been watching his videos, and you know, just all the work that he's done is so important. And I think it's important that we continue his work and like was said here today, work together, not let those who want to separate us, you know, be successful in that. And be aware that we're always under attack. I forgot what I wanted to say. If I think of what it was, I was gonna say I'll put in the chat, but right now that's all I could think of.
Okay.
Yeah, just thank you. I'm glad to see everybody here.
Thank you, Bonnie. Okay, Nikki.
Hi. I knew James, met James here in group. And he unexpectedly asked me to come because of being an SSP to the conference in Florida. And I got to know a little bit of him because of that. And then he invited me to be on his show, on 2 shows with him, with Jimmy Payne, who I got to meet. And then we ended up having, the 3 of us ended up having a couple of really, really good conversations before and after. And we had messaged each other back and forth. And I was absolutely stunned to see his post about him not feeling good, and the things at the conference, the different things at the conference that were being posted, that he was talking about his health. And then to hear that he had passed. Tuesday, this week. Earlier in the week, over the weekend and through this week, I'd been heavily targeted with dew and microwave technology. And Tuesday night, I was sitting with castor oil all over me because of the targeting and looked like a grease ball. And he showed up, and I was so out of it and so drained by that point. He came and he came and sat on my couch, and I went, "What do you do? How are you?" And he goes, "I'm good. I'm feeling better." Um, and he looked so much younger. I was like, "Wow, I can see that you're feeling better." And he goes, "Yeah." He was essentially he was happy. Um, and he asked if I would let people know to please carry on, to please continue. And asked to everybody to come together. No more of the butting heads. That's not how he put it. I don't remember the exact words, but that's what I remember. And even my dog, our family dog, would not sit where he was sitting. He was on the couch and went back, and he was like, kept looking at the spot where James was sitting at, and I was just like, okay, you got energy, dude. For the dog to pick it up. So it was really sweet, and um but that's that was it. We had different conversations. He actually sat and watched Scooby-Doo with me because I was in such a state. I was mentally, I need cartoons at this stage because I was too stressed out about what's going on in Washington and families that I'm worried about and all of that. And uh he sat and watched Scooby-Doo with me and made little comments at different times, and it really kind of shocked me that he stayed for about a half hour and then up and disappeared. So it was a very sweet uh meeting, and that's essentially it. But I very much appreciated uh what he was doing and what he talked about, the fact that he got the super soldier information out into the public because it is such a big deal. I'm not being very articulate right now with what I really want to say. It's just, I'm just kind of at a loss. But I thank him so much because the information that he put out really is credible. And I thank him, and I thank you, Misha, too, for doing all the work that you've been doing for a very long time and for the fight that you're doing. And that's it. That's all I got. And I just very much appreciated him and very much appreciate you, and thank you both very much for all the hard work because you guys have been doing this a long time, and it really I have a lot of choice words about what government is doing, and I will keep it nice right now. But that's essentially it in a nutshell. So thank you. Yeah.
Okay, Andrew? There was an Andrew. He's no longer Andrew. Hi, Andrew. A little hard to understand you.
Can you hear me?
Not really that good, but
Hard time. Okay, hold on. Got you. Can you hear
uh,
me now?
yeah, now we can.
Wonderful. This is hilarious because my phone is at 1%. So if I cut off, it's because my phone died, but I have
Okay,
it plugged in.
turn
So
off your picture, and that'll give you a little bit longer.
no, it's okay. My phone's plugged in. I should be okay. James
Oh,
is a hero.
okay.
He's really a hero.
So you'll need to turn off your picture.
I
Your bandwidth is, yeah, your bandwidth's not good. Try again now.
Can you hear me well?
Yeah, for
Are
now.
you able? Okay, okay. Well, James was a hero. Um, I got to meet him in Montauk in 2023 when he organized his trip. Never acknowledged that these programs are real and that I might have involvement. He opened my mind to a lot of things. Um, Honestly, I felt him as a brother. When I met him, I feel like a brother, and I haven't felt that way about, strangers just met. And please let me know if you can still hear me.
Yeah, I'll let you know if it starts breaking up. It broke up a tiny bit, but it's good.
Got it. Okay. Well, yeah, in 2023, along with Brian, who's in the chat, they organized that event, and I'm so grateful that I went to that event. I feel like I met my soul family. It was the first time I ever felt like I was with family in my life, and part of Brian, and I got to, I got to kind of see him for the last 3 years of his life since 2023. Um, I like what Mara said. I think it's really important. James gave everybody a voice. He gave everybody a platform. He didn't take sides. Appreciated about his channel and his work the most is he gave people that voice, no matter who it was. Sure, everybody has different perspectives. We have different experiences. We have screen memories. Who knows what's real? But he gave everybody the chance to speak, and that's what makes him a hero to me. And I honor the man. And I met him in 2023. I went to his Timeline of Disclosure conference in 2024. And then I was also with him in his last conference just a month ago in 2025 in October. And I was actually staying in the room with him. I was staying in his room with somebody else. And my intention of being there, I was there because I realized there was a lot of weird stuff going on with his health that was not natural. And I wanted to be there as support. And I was there as support. And, he wanted that conference to go really well. I think it did go really well. And that was a really good experience for him and everybody. I got to meet new people. He introduced me to a lot of new people. He was like a catalyst for my awakening and my ascension. He really did a lot. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. I mean, look at all his followers. I know there's a lot of people that he impacted with his work. And once again, he is a hero in my eyes, at least. And from what I saw about him towards the last months and weeks of his life is I forgot who said it. Somebody said it earlier that he was like a soldier. I think you said it, Misha. Yeah, he was a soldier till the very end. He stood by his principles. I saw how much pain he was in. I saw how much he was suffering. He was going through it at the end, but he stood by his principles. People were telling him he should have a cane or a wheelchair because of how, like, people could tell he was being hurt by this weapon, by whatever was happening. And he said, no, 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 no. I have a presence. I have to be the man. And he was the man till the very end. He stood by his principles, like holistic health and healing naturally. He stood by that, even when it seemed like everything else was failing. He was a man, he was a soldier, and he was a hero. And I guess that's all I have to say about that right now.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Luke.
Hello, it's Tina. Thank you for inviting me, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry for the loss of your friend, and may God bless his soul, and may he rest in eternal peace. James kept showing up on my feeds over the years, and it wasn't until about 2 years ago, a little bit more, that I began following him. And I never knew him personally, but I found him to be, there was something about his soul. And he seemed like he was a very light and open and a very good soul. And I liked what he was doing, and I'm grateful for what he was doing. And he opened my eyes and educated me to different things through his interviews with different people and what he had to say and share. And I wish I could have gotten to know him more. And I'm so sorry about what has happened to him and what is happening to so many different people. And I'm new, so there's a lot I have to learn. And tonight I'm not feeling too strong. So there's not much I could say right now, but I just wanted to say I'm so sorry that all of you have lost someone who was so very special to you. And that's all I can say right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Dana. And if I kind of missed you or something first, out of order, I forgot you, but please let me know. But I think I've got everybody's name down here. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Maisha. How are you? Thanks for doing this. Uh, well, I'm just devastated, actually. It's just devastating to lose the man who did it first, right? He paved the way. He's the forerunner. So I never talked to him personally in this conscious reality, and I haven't gone through my memories specifically about our relationship, but it's obvious that he was the one who was chosen by God to do that, to pave the way for all of us to be here today. And so I just want to say um, it's it's awful. It's awful that we lost him way too soon. But as we all know, our community is under a severe attack, and the levels of attack have increased exponentially. I'm in constant warfare. I just had to leave the country I was living in. It's been constant warfare every day. But I'm pretty sure this year is a big year. And James's death activated something in me. I just wanted to share that with you, everybody, is that we have to come out now. The people in the background are going to come out more now because of him, including me. I'm uh I'm originally from Canada, and even last night they were using a heart attack weapon on me. So I understand what he went through, and his honor and his dignity and his warriorship is unbelievably incredibly good. I don't know how to put it because I'm being attacked right now, even just talking to you. Um, yeah, I'm going to make a point of using his death for good, because we all have these probable timelines, and I think I heard Marvel the other night on another show say that he knew about his death. I'm not sure. He wrote about his death in the book. So he did have some understanding of his timeline and his time here. And I think his death is going to activate a lot more things. What the devil uses for good, God uses. What the devil uses for bad, God uses for good. And that's something that all super soldiers need to know, need to hear. Yeah, I'm being attacked right now. Just talking to you all. So just know that I'm with you. I'm in this battle for real. I'm working on certain things that I'm hoping will change the timelines for all of humanity's benefit, as James did. And I'm so sorry for all your personal loss because he was just a super shining superstar. And I know that he's free now because I really believe the galactics are taking our souls out of this recycling bin now. So I hope he flew all the way home. So farewell. Thank you for listening to me. And I wish if I make it, you're gonna be hearing a lot more from me. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Star? Did I already call on JR? I don't know if I did. I thought there was a JR.
If I
Okay.
could just say a quick mention out to Andrew. I sent him a message. I want to make sure he gets it just to reconnect, Andrew. I left you another message the other day. So I just want to make sure I get just reconnect on Facebook Messenger. Thanks.
And just once again, I want you to know that I have targeted specific groups for targeted. So targeting group is the fourth Wednesday of every month. And I currently have them at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So anyone who's targeted, don't be targeted alone. Come and talk to other people. And you know what? We found some really wonderful methods to lock some of the targeting to help change our frequencies and things like that. So please come, don't suffer alone. Okay, so Rivas, you still here? Yeah, you are. Did James go all the way to Mexico, I wonder?
I don't know because I didn't know him, and
I know you.
I am just learning that he passed away. But it is very interesting that he indicated that he is okay, and I have known of several other people with higher consciousness that they are in the other side, but they are joining other groups or another organization in the other side that keeps working on disclosure. So very interesting that it doesn't matter if we are here or we are over there. We keep working in these subjects because there is groups like this group of Misha here. And apparently there is groups of people in the beyond similar to these groups where people who die go to work. Very interesting. Well, that's all I want to say because I didn't know him, but I'm going to see his videos.
If we make it, it depends on how this group is, because I have a Christmas party I'm supposed to go to, so 6 is my max to be here. So if someone who's come to the group, that needs to share some of their own stuff, stay for the last hour. Hopefully that's when I'll turn off the recording and you can share in the private safe. Okay. And I'm gonna go try JR again. JR in the desert scene there, JR at the bottom. Do you want to share?
Hi, Misha. Yeah, thank you. I first met James at a conference in Nevada, and I think James was sharing a table with Misha. She was to the left of the table and he was to the right, and he had some gadgets that he had in development. I
His
think it was,
cubes. His cubes. His
yeah, yeah. I think it was for meditation or something.
Asian cubes. Mhm.
And I think he did a breakout talk there as well. So that may be on video archived. The person who does the video for that particular series of events, I'm sure he has it if he videotaped it, because he videotapes all the stuff. And he just seemed to have a very calming and open presence. At the most recent event that he hosted in October in Florida, I was invited to the event and I was assisting somebody else to get there. And so I did end up speaking with James, and so I had, I guess, some observation behind the scenes, but I don't certainly know, to the detail of the people are here. But I did speak with some other people who are on this call when I was trying to help coordinate somebody else getting to that event. So I would have liked to have been at the event. And yeah, it does kind of come as a shock and a disappointment, even though I didn't know James really well. And after I did go look at his Instagram, I had never looked at it before, but he has a lot of dancing videos, which was really a surprise to me to see. And there's a lot of competition, for what you look at on Instagram, because there's just so much. But it is something that I would enjoy going back to watch the video that he has. I watched several of them, and I'm just quite impressed that he, you know, presses start record and then walks back in the gym or wherever he is and does the dance. Um, and let's see what else. It seems like there's some other people that have hosted conferences, have hosted virtual events, that have been in the spotlight, and they have gone starting in 2018, but this year as well. People who are not necessarily speaking to the topics that are being discussed here, but um, it just, that too felt very early. Like it felt to me like the person I'm thinking of, as well as James, like there was more to get out, more to share. So I appreciate um, this group and the people sharing and the insights that people have. And I found this tribute to be, really nice and kind of like a soothing balm. So thank you, Misha, for doing that. And also what other people are experiencing that have just shared. It's helpful to hear, because um, it does seem like there's been more feeling in my upper left heart chest area. And I don't know if it had anything to do at all with what was going on with James, or if it's just the profile of the type of people that are on this call. But I noticed that, like, I think it was last Tuesday as well. Another person had mentioned Tuesday. And so, and then with regards to what Clan Mother shared, I feel like it's really important. There's a lot of people that are have a lot of followers, and they may have credentials, but it seems like it's becoming more and more important to evaluate each product or device that you consider, because there could be some nuances that are not readily known. so the intent could be good, but I do see there's a lot of people that seem to be in the know, but you have to maybe just think twice and evaluate. But I'm not sure how, other than your inner knowing, or if you have a way to test to find out, because the people's go-to products or devices, like they may contradict each other. And the people outside look like they're doing well. And I think James on his Facebook, I mean, he was doing a lot of things. I think he mentioned, you know, he was cooking mostly home cooked meals, and like some of the juicing that he was doing, like so it's just I guess disappointing. Yeah. Yeah, I did feel disappointment and sadness that he left as early as he did. So, because I was just talking to him a month ago, briefly on the phone, but yeah, I certainly was not expecting that. That's all I have for now.
Thank you. And we have Eric. That was Eric.
Well, thank you, Misha, for putting this on. I'd just like to, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say a word to James. I know he's listening. Thank you, brother. Thank you for being there for me and so many people. We've talked at length about what you were doing, and you've done more than, and I told you this straight up, as you'll recall. You've done more than anybody I know. And brother, we'll see you in Valhalla.
Thank you, Eric. Yes, and keep him in your heart, because he is on the other side working. I know he is working for us and helping us with the movement. Because all of you know about, of course, Project Oblivion. I was part of attacked by Project Oblivion. I got cancer the first part of this year, psychotronic weaponry. However, I'll have you know, Karen, I used natural means and none of that poison or any of those other things. And somebody tried to talk me into menthol balloon, and I did not feel it was the right thing to do. So I was very glad. And now I am in remission. So we fooled that oncologist. He told me I'd die in 6 months if I didn't have the chemo and the radiation. Yeah, keep him in your heart, and those who have, you know, gone on to the other side, they can help us more than we can possibly imagine. They can be part of our team, actually. Periodically, maybe they're not going to be with your guide group the whole thing. I've got a consortium myself of several teammates that work with me. And I'm going to ask him to be one of them, because, you know, Project Oblivion is something that they are really, and I feel I was hoping that Olivia, who's also a very dear friend, I did most of her hypnosis and such, as well as I did hypnosis on James as well, but many people here. Project Oblivion was something that was brought out last year. It came out in a regression with Olivia James, and she's been on his show as well as I've been on his show many times. And in that, a CIA agent, so this is, maybe if you don't know this, I think it's an important thing to do. A CIA agent came through, and she has this wonderful ability to remote view into places with secret files and things like that. So she went into this secret file place and was looking at files, like we do a lot, and in our sessions. And then he came through, and I had a conversation with him, asking him questions and everything. And he said that this has gone overboard. Basically, this is the paraphrase. This is gone overboard. You used to all be in the areas of non-belief and disbelief, and you were crackpots and conspiracy therapies, but more and more people are listening to you, and that's not good. And we're going to have that end, and we're going to stop those of you who are talking. We're going to attack those of you who are talking, speaking, conferences, podcasts, things like that. He warned us all about those things. And they did, actually. Within 2 months after that, I was at a UFO cruise to Alaska, and I was a speaker there, and three other speakers were attacked like I was and pushed down psychotronically. And so that's Project Oblivion, and it's a real project that they're doing. And I don't want that to scare you. I want that to make you more powerful. I want you to understand that we do have the power within us that can fight any energy out there, any whether it's draconian, whether it's the Illuminati, whatever it is, we do have that energy to fight them. And no one needs to die. There are things that you can do to protect yourself within your whole system, within your galactic group, within your guides or your protectors or your angels or Jesus or God. We're all part of that source anyway. Connect who you really are, and they do not have that ability to. They may attack you, but you can come out on the other side. So I just want everyone to not cower, not hide, speak more. Because the more who speak, the more they lose. Okay, so I'll get off my bandwagon there. Jana.
Hello, everyone. It is so great to see those of you that I know. I just couldn't miss the opportunity to pay tribute to James today. And when I saw that he had passed, we are not close. We are not friends. I don't have any connections with him other than Misha's group. And I just happened to be lucky enough one time to be in one of Misha's groups. And it was really early on in my journey. I was so new. I hadn't heard of anything that we're talking about today. I hadn't heard about secret soldiers. I didn't know about weapons being, attacked. I didn't know anything about that. And James spoke one day during one of Misha's groups. And as he was sharing his story, I had a witness that the things he was saying were true. And that blew my mind, because you can imagine the things he was sharing, right? And for people who've never heard of, secret space soldiers or weapons that attack people, it was all very new to me. And it almost didn't matter what my brain was hearing or trying to process, because the spirit and my heart bore witness to me that the stories he was telling were true, that the things that had happened to him and that he had experienced were true. And I just realized in that moment that I needed to open my mind and my heart to so many different aspects of what brings us all together here. And so that came right back to me when I saw on Facebook that he had passed, that feeling of the spirit telling me that he was bearing witness of truth. And I just will always be grateful to him that his stories allowed me to have that knowing. And I can never deny that knowing, because I was told that he spoke the truth, and that I needed to know that he spoke the truth. That's really my only personal experience with James. He was so instrumental in my journey, and I just wanted to come and just honor him today. And that's all I had to share.
Thank you, Janet. Marvel. Marvel is here. Yeah, there you are. Hi.
Hi. Hello. Um, I posted in the chat. It's hard for me to talk still about it. I mean, I try to talk around it, but um, he will be missed dearly. I learned a lot from him. So did my son. And through him, I met amazing people who are really good friends and mission brothers and sisters. And um, his passing put a lot of things in perspective for me. It brought up a lot of stuff. Um, but at the end of the day, um, just learning the new connection I have with him, because he's still around. He's still going to be helping us down here, and that brings me the most comfort at the end of the day. And I think our community is really coming together through this time because of him. I mean, we came together in the first place because of him. So, um, yeah, sorry. I I love you guys, and um, I wish you all the greatest success for not only yourselves but humanity and all your endeavors. And keep shining. Thank you.
Thank you, Marvel. Arthur?
Hello.
Hi. Welcome.
Hi, Melissa. Thank you for sending the link. I met James a couple summers ago. Michael Jaco introduced me to him at one of James's events. And I'd never heard of any of this stuff. I was so brand new to all of it. And it's been it's been eye-opening to go to the conferences and learn things that I had no idea about. And James as a person, met him then and saw him at a couple of conferences. I was at his most recent one, and he actually stopped by my house on his way back to North Carolina, and we enjoyed a pontoon boat ride together. It was really something. I'll remember that. I wish I had taken him in my golf cart out to the point and showed him a spot on the lake where there's both lakes. I wish. I'll always think about that. I'll miss James. I I did a couple of shows with him, and he was really such a smart guy. He and when I met him, I think it was 2 years ago. I can't remember, maybe a year and a half, 2 summers. He was so fit. He was very fit and just a great looking guy. And it just meant a lot to me to meet him and know him, and all you guys. I'm really to hear all of your heartfelt stories and remembrances of James. It's really heartwarming for me, and I'm really and like the other guy said a minute ago, James is listening too right now. He's here too. But thank you for doing this, Misha.
Thanks, Arthur. Jimmy. Jimmy Payne.
Yeah,
Hi, Jimmy.
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Well, you know, the week of the convention, I was supposed to do a podcast on the Amityville horror, and James,
I was going to be the co-host.
yeah, and James canceled, and he didn't owe me an explanation, but he just said that people in Orlando needed help. And I told James, I said, well, you know, people always need help. And I said, it's just your draining you financially. You know, you could do it, you know, over the, do a podcast on it. But he said that he wanted to go and have fun. So I didn't, I didn't try and talk him out of it, but now that I see the results of it, I should have, you know, tried harder to keep him from going. But what it did, it got me to looking around, you know, about I've always known about direct energy weapons. The very first one was on the Eldridge when it malfunctioned. That's how they knew about it. So it goes back as far as Tesla. So this has been going on since August of 1963. You know, when I had my trip on Eldridge, because you know it jumps every 20 years from 43 to 63. But I can tell you now that the people in the intelligence community are scared. I mean, they are really scared, and the diplomats are scared because this is happening on all the continents except Antarctica. And what it is, they got the implants down so small now, it's down to nanoparticles. Now, two California inmates were test subjects, and they were injected with, you know, the nanoparticles for study. But a few weeks after they were injected, they took a hostage at the prison, and the operator that did the injection, he dialed up to 116 megahertz, and it put both of the prisoners to sleep for 22 hours. And the hostage walked away. So they can now vibrate, well, not vibrate, but turn the frequency up and make you go to sleep for 22 hours. Now that was in a letter from IBM Division 9 that this letter was wrote on. And let's say you had to get some of these implants are silicone based. The newer ones are silicone, so they won't show up underneath MRI or a CAT scan or X-ray. They won't show up. The only way you can get them is with a radio frequency scanner between 9 and 18 megahertz. That's what picks them up. And imagine that you can get a silicone-based nanoparticle and you put it into, say, a hypodermic needle. And you got to go to the dentist to get your teeth worked on. So he takes the needle, he sticks it in your gum to numb your teeth. Well, that nanoparticle can get up underneath the gum area, and it can start transmitting. It can start transmitting. So there, but anyway, they did it. They kept doing some more experiments, And what they can do now is voice to skull communication. The operator can talk through the microphone and you can hear words. Now, I believe it was back about 2, 3 years, about 3, 4 years ago, the Navy shipyard shooting where the guy went on a rampage and he got the shotgun and he initialed extreme low frequency on a shotgun. He killed 16 people in a Navy shipyard. And then you had another guy that killed 4 or 5 people. He was complaining of it. But what's really scary, what's got the CIA, the NSA, and everybody really scared is, so you can turn a person into a human recorder now. They can inject you with the nanoparticles, and they can hear. You're just a walking recorder. So the CIA is scared because the Russians are playing with it. The Chinese are playing with it. The Indians are playing with it. The UK's playing with it. And it's starting to spread. And these politicians that had the Havana syndrome, they were the first test subjects, but now it's starting to spread. And what happened to James Rink? Because now James emailed a female right before he died, and this researcher was paying a tribute to James, and she pulled James's email up on the internet, and in there James said that he had been hit by a direct energy weapon. He said he has been contacted by other people that were hit at that conference. He said that 2 other people have complained of strokes, and then 2 more complain of heart attacks. That's 4 people. And if you add James, that's 5. 5 people having heart attacks and strokes at a conference. Now, if James, and I don't know if they cremated James or what, but I believe if you get a radio frequency between 9 and 18 megahertz, you should be able to go to his grave and it should be transmitting. Even though he's deceased, if he was not cremated, the frequencies should pick up on him. And I don't know what James had in his computer. I never gave James classified information. Anything that I talked to James about was low level stuff that I knew about, that they made shows about for soft disclosure. But I believe James was a targeted individual. I believe they wanted to keep him quiet. See, if you do something long enough, you get good at it. And James got good at collecting information. He started to assemble it just like a puzzle. And he did it for 20-something years. So he could take a little piece from me and a little piece from somebody else, and then another person, he could assemble it. But nobody in North America right now is safe. This is like a wildfire. It's going to spread. And when you can see, the next thing is a Manchurian candidate. We've already seen 2 shooters try to shoot the president. All right. So they're trying to make assassins, people that hear voices in their head. So this is not going away. It's going to get more and more. It's going to get violent. And I believe that come the next election, it's going to they've already taken out one individual speaker. I'm not going to name his name, but everybody knows who was shot in the neck just recently. This is just beginning. But what I like to say. I wish I had something better to say, but I look at it. I try to find the cause of all this. Uh, I believe he had been sick for a while, but it's like a death by a thousand cuts. It's a little here and a little there, and those injections, those I believe those to be nanoparticles. I believe he was injected with nanoparticles. If not, um,
He's on his hands.
some other type of poison, to weaken his immune system. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, the injections you're talking about are the ones that he felt like he saw injections on his hands and places on his body.
I had,
You mean?
Me and him had talked. I was going to try to go back to Area 51. I was going to try to get a security clearance
Oh,
to
yeah.
bring him back to Area 51. And I was supposed to talk to one of his a girl that was in on Super Soldiers, and before we could get with her, he took ill.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I know I got the implants in me. I've had them. All super soldiers have them. If you're in the secret space program, you have them. You just don't pick them up a year here, a year there. Once you enter those programs, they wait till you're in stasis. And when you're in stasis, they'll open up the they'll open it up and inject you with it. I've woke up in stasis being electrocuted when I was stasis and everything.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy, of course, you've probably seen some of his interviews on Super Soldier. He's MIB, Men in Black. So thanks, Jimmy. Next we have SW. Yeah, SW. SW.
Hi, sorry about that.
Nope.
I'm just here to support. I didn't know James. I've spoken with him before when I first started to wake up, and so it yeah, that's what I can say for now.
Anybody else I want to share? No? No? Okay. All right. Robert. You still here, aren't you? There you are. Over there, Robert. Hi, Robert.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I've only met James once, but um, I know I can pretty much say for everybody here, he's kind of integral as far as my awakening, though, because when I first started sort of figuring things out, stumbled across his channel, Super Soldier Talk. Um, yeah, and it's like, you know, I kind of suspected what's going on, and I'm prepared for some pretty strange things, but yeah, he definitely clarified a lot of stuff. Just sort of like, okay, it really made a lot of sense to me, and yeah, he just, I mean, I just like everybody here, we also know he's not. Nobody dies. Their spirit carries on. So for sure, he's definitely helping us from the other side. Um, and yeah, I just want to, just like everybody here, I just think we're all we're all on target. So we're going to be, you know, we're going to be hit too. I know I am for sure. They they've been they've tried to give me a stroke several times and heart attacks and whatever. So I totally get what's going on. I'm being attacked too. Um, but if we all hang in there like we are, um, yeah, this is working. It's working. It's pretty tough. it's definitely still working, though. But anyway, I just want to, yeah, just thank you, Misha, for putting this together because, yeah, it's really, he's one of the top guys that I can think of that's really helped disclosure. So, yeah, that's
Thanks,
it.
Robert.
Thanks.
Rachel? Rachel? Unmute yourself. Just there you go. You got it.
Hello. Yes, thank you, Misha, for putting this together. And out of, I think it was 26 participants, there's actually someone I know. Hi, Karen. She probably doesn't know me though, but we've spoken in chats. So yeah, I didn't know James personally, but I followed him and listened to quite a bit of what he had to say, and it resonated with me. And I'm in Australia, so we don't get a lot of what you guys talk about and necessarily understand a lot about what what happens at conferences and and everything that happens. But yes, it's obviously going to become a regular thing. And I just pray that everyone everywhere in their highest and best is protected. And at the end of the day, we're all affected by all the things that are out to get us, regardless of where we are in the world. And it's a miracle we're all here. We may have soul contracted, if you believe in that, to be here at this time for this purpose. And yeah, we just have to do the best we can with what we've got every day. So thank you very much again, Misha, for putting this together.
Thank you, Rachel. And Leah?
Yeah. Hi, Misha. Hi, everyone. How are you guys?
See you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, good. So, gosh, I'm kind of nervous because I wanted to join last meeting like this because, but something came up and I got diverted and I completely forgot, which I'm so sorry for. So, I'm here now to kind of take things a little deeper for you guys because I have an understanding of why we are targeted the way that we are.
So just want you to know, you do know that it's recorded. It's being recorded.
Oh, okay. So then I probably shouldn't say it. Shouldn't go there.
Well, in 5 minutes, it's not going to be recorded because I'm going to be turning off the recorder. So if you
Okay.
want to be one of the people that waits to talk about your own
Sure.
stuff,
Yeah, I would be.
this
Yeah, I
is
would be willing.
basically for the tribute for James, the first 2 hours.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I wasn't aware it was the first 2 hours. I apologize for that. But yes,
Well, actually, it was going to be the hour, but more people showed up, so it went into 2 hours.
I would like to say something about James because I learned so much from him, and he had such kindness in his eyes, and I learned a lot from him. And I know he's with all of us. He's supporting all of us, and yeah, I just will always thank him for what I learned from him, and I yield.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Leah. So now, has everybody shared it? Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. I think I got everybody. Okay. Yes. So now I am going to turn off the recording. And I just want to say one last thing about James. So he's moved on already to another dimension, as we all know. There's no death, so he's in another dimension, and perhaps that's a dimension that is ready to accept us into a higher vibrational connection, higher consciousness, that next time vibration, the parallel existence. We all know it's all parallel existence, it's all interdimensional. So it's time for all of us to move this dimension into the next higher dimension, fourth, fifth. I'd love to skip fourth and go right to fifth, so that we don't have to deal with these attacks, so that we can help people wake up and understand what's going on this planet, and what is happening. And know again that we are really amazing, amazing, powerful beings. And I'm going to say we're a lot like superheroes because we really have those. If you've got those abilities like we have when we're out in space, in secret space, we can have them here. So you can take those same powerful, super abilities, and you can expand those out to protect yourself. So know that. And thank you, everyone, for being here and sharing from the heart. It was wonderful to have you. Again, my group is starseedawakening.org. Whoop, I have another person who came in. May need to have them share first. Starseed Awakening, I'm going to take their number off so no one sees it. 1 second. Okay. Starseedawakening.org, and you can come to groups like this and with individual specific topics. I have 3 a week, and so that's up to like 14 a month. And if you go to my website, which is starseedawakening.org, and go to the virtual groups, you can find the virtual groups there. There's a calendar that shows you all about the groups, and come and join. Don't be alone. That is the one thing they want you to do. That is their biggest weapon, is keeping you isolated. So don't isolate. Come and share your experiences. It really does change your life. Thank you for coming. So we were just about done, but phone call, you just came in. So I would like you to go ahead if you would like to say something about James's tribute, or if you're here for the secret space group, whichever. So on the phone there. Hi.
Hi, Misha. It's Carolyn.
Oh, okay, Carolyn. Oh, you miss everything, but however it is recorded, I never record, but this one's recorded. So would you like anything for James' tribute?
Yes.
Recording before
yes. Okay, yeah, I'll be really quick. First of all, I'm so sorry. I meant to come for 6, but I had an emergency and I just couldn't get here till now. But I wanted to just say that I found it so amazing about the irony of someone's passing may bring this whole community much closer than anything could have been done by James Rink in person, here in body, on this physical plane. So I found that really, I was thinking about him, over the past few days a lot. And I just felt like he was always trying to bring people together. And it's so hard when you're a lone wolf on planet Earth in this physical body, but he may be able to do it by being on the other side, operating in a way kind of like Obi-Wan Kenobi when he let himself go, and then said, even in the film, Obi-Wan said, I can be far more powerful on the other side than I could ever be here. So I just found that an amazing irony, and thank you, Misha, for having this group. Again, I'm so sorry I couldn't get here at 6, but I'm grateful to you for having it, and I'll listen to the recording later.
All right. Thank you, Carolyn.
Okay.
So anybody have any more closing words? Yes, Melissa.
There's something else I meant to say earlier that I find really fascinating about James is he studied, and I don't know if anybody knows about this, but he studied horticulture as well. And everywhere he goes, he's like so brilliant about the names of every plant, their life cycle, their climate, how they can survive and live. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Like, there was other aspects of James that were like where his brilliance would just show through. So yeah, just wanted to show that part. Just like his stuff about like his documentary Changes on the Horizon, the Tartarian stuff. Like just like the piece of brilliance there that like it's all up there. Like wow. So yeah. I just wanted to show that a little bit too.
go to some of his recordings that I don't know who's going to be in charge of them. I hope that they're going to still be on Rumble so people can go to them and go to his recordings. Like his Nasara one was great. It was so good, his video of that, and some of the other ones he's done. So I hope that they're still going to be on Rumble. So Rizal, do you have one?
I would like to share something. Or is it Maziel or is it me? Could I
okay,
butt in
Andrew, go ahead.
real quick?
Go ahead.
Sure,
I'm not
Okay,
copying and pasting.
great. Since we're saying our last thoughts about James, I mean, um, just like I got a little channeled message from somebody I know who might be in this chat. Um, that he said, "Don't mourn my death, but celebrate my life." And that's something to keep in mind about this all. He doesn't want us to suffer. He doesn't want us to feel sad. Of course, we're allowed to feel our emotions. I still haven't barely fucking cried about it because I've just been like resisting my emotions. I went through a fucking spiral for the first week. But I think he would like us to stay uplifted and stay positive and maintain the high frequency that he was upholding. And hopefully we can all, everybody here and everybody that loves him and cares about him, we can all carry on his legacy and do whatever the fuck he wanted to do, you know? And that would be great.
Okay.
Please reach
Alice,
out, Andrew. Andrew, please reach out, okay? Because I left you a Facebook message. So please reach out, okay? I just want to let you know that, okay? Don't
We will
forget. Don't
connect,
forget.
Melissa. We will connect.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're here tonight.
I'm going to
One
go.
thing,
Joe,
one thing I want.
I'm going to go with Zal. Zal's been waiting first, and then we'll go to you. Okay.
I agree with Andrew. And one of those downloads was that I received, I think it was within the 2 days that it happened or so, was to keep doing what we're doing. But, and exactly what Andrew says, stay in that high vibrational frequency. The solutions are here. There's no doubt about it. This is the timeline. It's game over. And the transition teams are here. And I just really want to emphasize that because I know a lot of people, I hear them here and I hear that they're being attacked. Thank God that the healers are here. The guardians are live and active and in all interdimensional ways. And the timeline has shifted. We are in a New Earth timeline. It's time to close those doors, seal those doors. They're going into the abyss, right? But I wanted to thank everyone again, but I really wanted to tell you that in my heart because I know a lot of us came down because it's game over. You understand me? We are here for the game over part, and we're transitioning to the higher vibrational frequencies, higher timelines, and you are all there. You're all there, and just know you're there. And it's game over for them. And I just really wanted to reemphasize that. I give you guys a lot of love, a lot of intentional beautiful love and healing. And thank you so much, Maisha, for bringing this and having us on and sharing. And we send you a lot of love. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Brian, and then Dana after Brian.
Yeah, I just wanted to really briefly point out that, James, that last conference he did, the Super Soldier Conference in October this year, he was only in the hospital like 2 days before that. He got out, and then like Melissa was pointing out, he from there ran the event. And so I just wanted to, point out that that's his level of dedication to the cause.
Yeah, he busted out, Brian. And I would love to connect with you too, Brian, if we could. My heart would love to do that. Okay.
And Dana, did you had your hand up? I think.
I'm gonna message you, Brian.
Sorry, I just went through this whole thing. Oh my God, this whole talk just activated. I just broke through the altar that was blocking me from James. So I just wanted to say that timeline is now going to be cleared. Because what I've understood is that we have to come out of all the timelines in order to be totally clear. And so I just had a remembrance of being in the My Lab with him and my son. So I'm looking forward to remembering James because it's like this whole meeting just broke through everything that was blocking me. And I don't know how to explain this, but I knew James' death was there's a higher purpose to it. because God is activating us all in different ways and putting in us in different positions in the astral and on the earth. And he's a warrior, and I know I can't wait to talk to him more. So thank you all for being here, because it was a real battle. My whole hands got crippled while I was talking to you. And that's always a good sign that, when there's a force coming against you, there's something behind that door that is waiting to be opened. And once you open that fear door and it releases, like Maisha said, we have the power to do incredible things. And it's a bit weird what happens, but once you start learning your own special, I don't know what to call it, force, there's nothing we can't do. And I just thank James so much for coming through tonight. And I look forward to sharing that with you in the future when I do start speaking out. And thank you for encouraging me. The battle is real. God bless you all. God bless James. I can't wait to download all the rest of this tonight. So I'll keep you posted. I'm Angelic Sun on Facebook if anyone wants to message me. Thank you.
Okay. Charlene? And then after Charlene, we're going to go ahead and turn off the recording and go to the group.
I would just want to say something real quick. Yes, about this continuing on. The conference was truly an activation, and everything that James has done is an activation. And I just could hear James right when everybody was saying that, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Because anybody that was near the conference, he'd say, "Okay, your boots on the ground." So that just came through, and that was just a sweet thing to hear. Yeah, great tribute. Thank you so much for having me be a part of it, and see everybody soon.
Oh, Jaden.
Charlene.
Thank you, Charlene. Okay, so if you'd like to stay and get a taste of what the group is like, I know we've all been sharing a long time. I've only have 30 more minutes because I do have to get ready for my Christmas party. And but you can stay on. I'm just going to turn off the recording now. Where is it?